expect him to flood out and drown. This woman clothed in her son, wearing her 12 crowns. He became furious. The scripts say he became Roth. Let us say Rothschilds woven from the knowledge of the cloth. So mad, he is preparing a war by the shores against all of God's promised, against the bloodline, the chosen. 44,000 and more. No more rumors beyond, rumors and rumors of war. No more rumors of war. As he comes from the sea to initiate Elizabeth's soldiers. Oh, mercy, mercy me. No more rumors of war. Pandora's box past historical holders. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Historical, newer, victorial, newer, doctorial, newer, pictorial, newer, oratorical, newer. Battlefield of the imaginary pans, doors, her flow, her secret, her box, her floors. My roar, no more. Rumors beyond, rumors or rumors of rumors of rumors of war. Let's go. Yeah. Sound, 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 sound is written. Sound, 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 sound. Explode. Jump. Yeah. Sound, 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 sounds. Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, your feet shine. Six right, code the way, truth and light. Let's go. Yeah. Sound, 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 sound is written. Sound, 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 sound. Jump. Yeah. Sound, 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 sounds. Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, feet shines. 6 right, code the way, truth and the light. Let's go. Yeah, it is written. Sound, 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 sound. Jump. Yeah, sound, 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 sounds. Armor ready. Ready.
Greater light. Greater light. A greater light.
Out and drowned. This woman clothed in the sun, wearing her 12 crowns. He became furious. The scripts say he became rough. Let us say Rothschilds woven from the knowledge of the cloth. So now he is preparing a war by the shores against all of God's promise, against the bloodline, the chosen for his 44,000 and more. No more rumors beyond rumors and rumors of war. No more rumors of war. As he comes from the sea to initiate Elizabeth's soldiers. Oh, mercy, mercy me. No more rumors of war. Pandora's box past historical holders. Oh, mercy, mercy me. Historical, newer, victorial, newer, doctorial, newer, pictorial, newer, oratorical, newer. Battlefield of the imaginary pans, doors, her flow, her secret, her box, her floors. My roar, no more. Rumors beyond, rumors or rumors of rumors of rumors of war. Let's go. Yeah. Sound, 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 sound is written. Sound, 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 sound. Explode. Trump. Yeah.
Trump. Sound, 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 sound.
Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, your feet shine. 6 right, code the way, truth and light. Let's go. Yeah. Sound, 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 sound is written. Sound, 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 sound. Explode. Jump. Yeah. Sound, 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 sound.
Greater light, greater light. Look. My mind, I'm getting right to it. My mind is God's mind. I'm always reflecting divine wisdom and divine intelligence. My brain symbolizes the capacity to think wisely and spiritually. God's ideas unfold within my mind in perfect sequence. I'm always poised, balanced, serene, and calm because I know God has provided the perfect solution to every single one of my needs. You say amen. I say, God, you promise. God is going to keep the promises, huh? Standing on the promises of God, huh? Standing on the promises. I knew I wasn't finished. I wasn't finished with Numbers I knew I wasn't finished. I got to go right back to numbers, y'all. I got to go right back to numbers. And the thing about it is, I want to start again. It's going to be a lot of reading here. It's going to be a lot of reading. Today is a preparation day, and every time I wasn't supposed to work today. Just like God did with Balaam, God kept putting the donkey kept bucking, trying not to get where the angel was standing with the sword because Balaam was so eager, and God was like, "Yeah, you that eager, huh? Huh? You that eager? I got eagerness for you, huh?" Well, it was something like that with me today, and that is like I know I wasn't supposed to be on because today I was supposed to be preparing. So it looked like what's gonna happen is I'm gonna have to be up late in the midnight hours. Uh, Not wait until the midnight hours. I got to be up late in the midnight hours. I need late in the midnight hours. Uh, I may have to because it's something that I'm supposed to do in preparation for the part, Trump's part, when he stands on Zebulun, when he is on Zebulun's ground and his trumpet sounds out. Now, the beast and their beings, they are so furious. They even furious about these storms they trying to create, and the cold front just keeps coming down because it's not time. It is not time. They trying to do it before they are released to be doing it, and it's not. It don't work like that. Huh? It don't work like that. It don't work like that. So just as we are supposed to be in prayer and meditation and blocking and shining our light out for those that are lost right now. We are supposed to be beacons right now as we speak. It's the same with the devil. The devil and the beings, the spiritual wickedness in high places, they are more excited and more enraged for their last day promises to be able to do the dirt and wickedness that they are going to be able to get rampage over for those who will be left behind. So today, in light of or before Trump gets to stand on Zebulun, Biden has put out his prayers handed down by their spiritual wickedness in high places. His 3 prayers to purchase your mind, your body, and your soul. One of his prayers looked like he's saying goodbye. And I'm going to go over that. And that just dropped today. You don't have to wait for me to talk about it. You could go and read it for yourself right now. You don't even have to stay over here right now. You could go to Federal Register and see where he addresses your flesh, for all the tribes, the tribal nations. He addresses the flesh. Then he put out a minority report. And that minority report is about the mind, because you're only considered a minority in your mind. So he put that out, his prayer request over, because remember, they made a covenant. Their covenant is to purchase your mind, body, and soul. And in order to do it, they had to release the CHIPS Act law that made you a patient of the United States. As an American, you are now a patient. If you sign on and say you're American, you are a patient of the United States. They did it through the CHIPS Act law. And that same binding contractual prayer that he just put out specifies the CHIPS Act law, like I've been saying all these years. In order for them to purchase your light, to upload your light, to take bits and pieces and distribute it, like China wanted 28 nanometrics, and Trump was like, what we look like giving you light codes from over here. As a matter of fact, we want you to even take Twitter, whatever, what is it, TikTok, and get on up out of here. We ain't no more trading. It's eye for eye, tariff for tariff. But Biden was like, we will whore them out. We will sell them. We will do whatever. We will trick them out. But they can't trick us. But that's the intent of the Democrats. They have whoredom spirit. And I just realized that the whoredom spirit began with the word beautiful. I just realized less than 3 or 4 hours ago that the word whoredom began with the word beautiful. Now, I'm not saying that the being who wrote Samuel A. Ward, let's say the warden, when he wrote America the Beautiful, that he may have been guided by the whisperings of their better angels or not. But when I actually thought about the lyrics not too long ago, it dawned on me, because the war in heaven with the amber lights, like there's a saying that the spiritual wickedness in high places, they deal with the amber light. That's why when they do their worship and their seances, they like to use the flame. They like the fire. Now, the rays from the sun, we see it in a golden tone, and some like to consider it amber, but the amber that comes off of the moon, that type of light, connected with because what is it about a flame? The flame is blue before it turns into that amber color. Anyways, so for beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple. Now, purple is a color of death. Purple is like the color of the finalization of death. For purple mountain majesty, that's why they would gladly put the purple on Jesus as they were tormenting him and beating him and all that. And people took and said, yes, purple is royalty, huh? When purple is the symbolization to the finalization of something or the finishing of something, huh? Now, purple, when we look at different fruits and vegetables, the potency of it is because of the potency that it is to the land. So you get you a purple cabbage that it's rooted in the soil. And when we're buried, where we buried under the soil. So you get you a purple carrot. They like to call them red, but the purple carrot. And they are high in antioxidants and stuff. But again, they're rooted and pull in the original, all of the minerals of the soil. When they had purple potatoes, uh, that's before the soil got bleached out, dug out, put all these different chemicals in it, and then the splicings of the fruits. Most of the darker fruits. But back to it. Back to it. For purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain. Now, this part right here, America, America. So beautiful, when in those days, beautiful was in regards to a man. Beautiful didn't have nothing to do. So you had these men walking around complimenting each other. They didn't use the word handsome, they used the word beautiful. And beautiful was not a term that was made for a woman back then and further back. So those beings considered America not a she, but a he. Whatever the old earth was, they decided to transition it to a beautiful. It wasn't until later on that beautiful, you had women who felt like if a man could wear pants, I could wear pants too. And if a man could be called beautiful, I could be called beautiful too. And then through transition of time, we took that as a word and never really looked it up, the same way with pretty and nice. Huh? So again, for beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain. And they see the grain could be the grain of the wheats, but it could also be the gradient or the gradient nature of the eyes, between the eye and the soul and the mind. For purple mountains majesties above the fruited plain. America, America. God shed his grace. What does it mean to shed? Some people will say, no, that means God, all the grace that you have, put it on America. No, it says, God, remove your grace. And why am I so confident that's what it means? Because if you go to the second and the third stanzas of this song, you would see exactly what it is saying. For purple mountains, majesties above the fruited plain, America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crown thy good with brotherhood. Take your grace away and let brotherhood stand over your grace. Now, the boys in the hood are always hard. Hood never had a good meaning. It's a cover up. And crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Now, that means the brotherhood was supposed to be over those who are able to see in light, those who have the light code. Really. And crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to sea. That's not what it's talking about, Grandma. I'm going to show you in the third verse how to confirm that that's exactly what it's talking about. But now in their prayers to want America to in their covenant to buy Americans, they need a workforce to look like America. And it's their version of America when they got here and transformed it into what they wanted America to look like, not what America was when they got here. And the forces behind that is the Biden Harris administration, that America went and turned from a woman to a man. Huh? That the tribals was covered over the hood of their brotherhood, huh? And their light was dimmed. There's even a part in the song that says that don't let the tears of them even dim what we got going on. No, I'll show you. This is my first time even looking at the second and third verse of that song. Oh, beautiful. Nobody did it than Ray Charles. Huh? His sea and shiny sea couldn't see. And maybe it could have, huh? For spacious skies, for amber waves of grain. Grandma, you was doing a lot of talking about nothing. No, I'm not. I'm leading you right up to it. Huh? But first, let me go ahead and read this scripture in regards to what's going on when Trump stands on Zebulun. Huh? When Trump stands on Zebulun. Biden, I know, I haven't seen anything about Biden. I don't know if he even still alive. I haven't seen nothing on the news about him, but I bet you him and his ancestors and the Balkans and all of them are furious. They are so angry that Trump has made it to this state right here because he wasn't supposed to make it in their eyes on Zebulun, on Mount Zebulun. Huh? He wasn't supposed to. He wasn't supposed to. Mm. So let me go ahead and complete that story. Let me complete this story right here before I get over there to the federal documents where Biden has put out his prayers handed down and passed down to him from the Balkans, from the Rothschilds, and all of them up there in they higher spiritual wickedness in high places, from UK, from Australia to Canada. They really, truly going all out. And I said, like I said, one of his prayers and his covenant to buy Americans look like he's saying goodbye. I swear. To me, that's what it looked like. You might as well. You might as well go ahead and join Elizabeth. You might as well go ahead and call her and tell her, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you, honey. Because when she was gone, he still was talking about he's sending messages and waving hi to Elizabeth. Huh? And they better angels. Ain't no greater light, King Ellis. King Ellis, greater light. I'm going back. I'm for to read Numbers again. Let me read Numbers 22 and finish the story that I didn't complete yesterday. And then I'm definitely coming back because it is downloaded to my spirit that I'm supposed to read from the holy tablets in between they so-called on the 12th hour, in between time, in the meantime, between time. So I have to come back later. If I would have did this earlier, I wouldn't be doing it now because I was not supposed to go and click on no shift today. I was supposed to do exactly what I was instructed to do. And I went against that. And guess what? Things kept happening. Things kept happening where I couldn't even hear the clients on the other end. Because first thing, it wasn't even 8 o'clock in the morning. Somebody was out there with a buzzer, a blower, or a saw or something. And I told y'all because I'm on hollow ground, it could be the tires off with cars coming all the way off the highway. The echo comes through these walls, or the vibration or the sound is extra loud, especially with this hollow attic. So, so that was before 8 or 9 o'clock. I was like, for real? For real? So that's how I'm going to be slowed down. So then when I went to finally turn on the computer, it was about 10. I was like, yeah, I can get this shift in, get it done, get it out, over with. The system want to update, which it was just updated last week. And I put a time in for it to be updated in the future. It decided it wanted to update on its own. It took almost an hour to update. So then I was like, okay. So then I get on, it's a little bit right about 11. The tree, whoever was doing sawing, they sawing trees. So you know how a tree saw sound. So that started going on, and it's like I'm being distracted. And I'm like, for real, and it's like it was like I don't want you to work. I want you to do this. I want you to do this right here in preparation for what's going on tomorrow. When he steps on Zebulun, it's going to be the beginning of something, and I need you to pay attention. I'm like, all right, all right, all right, all right. So I ended up getting a little few hours in, a little bit after that, and other things came up. So I'm here doing what I should have been doing earlier, and probably gonna be so tired. I'm telling you, tired and drained out when I got to come back here and start reading. Anyways, here we go. The story of Balaam, reading it again. The people of En, remember I told you, if you open up and go to this right here is confirmation that the Egyptians were also the 12 out of the Israel. The Egyptians were considered Israel in this chapter of the Bible, in this Numbers 22. I'm glad to be in the number. How that song go? Wait. Glad to be in the number one more time. I can't get the tune to it, but I remember that song. Glad to be in the number. The number where they confirmed that the Egyptians on this side, on this side, the original old world, before they went over there and start museuming up the where fit like Juju world, the museum world, that the Egyptians were considered Israelites. So the people of Israel now traveled to the plains of Moab and camped east to Jordan River opposite of Jericho. What's east of Jericho? It's all the way over here. When King Balak in Moab, now the Balak stem, I told you everything in the Bible is prophetic. That's where we also messed up, thinking that everything in this Bible was Old Testament, when the Old Testament actually was the New Testament, and the prophetic. Everything about it, from Genesis to Revelation, the whole Bible is prophetic. The people of Israel now traveled to the plains of Moab and camped east to Jordan River opposite of Jericho. When King Balak in Moab, the son of Zippor, realized how many of them there were, and when he learned what they had done to the Amorites, he and his people were terrified. They terrified to this day, even though they standing up there with all that power, they are terrified for the Israelites to wake up. They are so terrified. They quickly consulted, every single one of them. If everybody woke up at the same time, they're like, oh no, it can't be. We got to keep them distracted. We got to keep them distracted. They quickly consulted with the leaders of Midian. This mob will eat us like ox eats grass, they exclaimed. We don't want to get eaten. That meant a beat down. That's all that meant. They was like, we don't want to get a beat down, So King Balak sent messengers to Balaam, son of Peor, who was living in the native land of Peor. Now, I looked up what that means, and I'll leave that for right now. near Euphrates River because it's connected to the Federal Register. He begged Balaam to come and help him. A vast horde of people has arrived from Egypt. They woke up and they cover the face of the earth and are headed toward me. He frantically explained, please come and curse them for me so that I can drive them out of my land. Now, they covered all the earth and he considered that little piece of land his land. That's them. This is our land, our America, and we're going to buy America, which is our land. That's why he lying when they say they buying America. We're buying Americans, those who claim that they are of this land. We're going to buy them because we know they're not of this land. We know they are indigenous of the kingdom of God. They are Israelite beings. They don't know it, but if we can keep them asleep, we'll be able to purchase them. He said, please come and curse them so that I can drive them out of my land. For I know what a fantastic blessing falls on those whom you bless. When you open your mouth, you bless them. And he said, nah, not me. It ain't me. And I also know that those whom you curse are doomed. The messengers he sent were some of the top leaders of Moab and Midian. They went to Balaam with money in hand. They said, we got all the money you need, huh? You think 2,500 is going to be good enough for you? Huh? Nah, they was offering big money, huh? 2,500 a month. We will give you whatever you want, huh? If you just urgently, he explained to him what Balak wanted. Balak said, look, Balaam said, stay overnight, get you some sleep. I got to talk to God, huh? Because it ain't God, it ain't my mind. This God's mind. It ain't my ideas, it's God's ideas. It unfolds through me as a perfect sequence through my DNA and my blood, huh? But I can't just sign the contract just like that. I gotta read it. Huh? I gotta read what y'all got written in the Federal Register. Huh? Every nook and cranny. He said, you stay here and I'll tell you in the morning whatever the Lord directs me to say. So they did. That night, God came to Balaam and asked him who these men, and y'all know God knows everything. God didn't, ask him like he didn't know who they were. He was asking him like, who these crazy fools here? Like how they gonna come, they don't know no better. So he said, they have come from King Balak of Moab, he replied. The king says that a vast horde of people from Egypt has arrived at his border. And he wants me to go at once and curse them in hope that he can battle them successfully. Don't do it, God told him. You are not to curse them, for I have blessed them. The next morning, Balaam told the men, go home, get out of here. And he said, the Lord won't let me do it. So King Balak's ambassadors returned without him and reported his refusal. Balak tried again. This time he sent a larger number of even more distinguished ambassadors. They sent like, what they call them angels that donate. Like, what's his name? What's that actor? Oh, goodness. They have a name for him that donate, not philanthropy, but angel investors. They called everybody the angel investors and all. Got all of them from the former group and all, some new ones. And they came to Balaam with this message. King Balak pleads. Balak Biden, he says, with you to come. He promises you great honors plus my payment. Any payment you ask for. Anything, anything. Name your own figure. You want it to be 6 figures? You want it to be 10 figures? How many figures? You want to be Elon's trillions? Would you like to get 1 million from Elon just for promoting? Because it's okay, you believed in Trump. But since Trump got bought, the only thing you could do is trust that he trusts. But you can't sign on to that GOG team because Elon is the Antichrist. Believe me, what I'm telling you, he is the anti. He is the anti. Uh, so he says, only come and curse those people for us. But Balaam replied, if he were to give me a palace filled with silver and gold, silver and gold, silver and gold. In the 3rd verse of America the Beautiful, it says God refined the gold for us. In America the Beautiful, it says refine the gold for us. Don't say take care of the people. It say don't even let their tears dim what we got planned. And refine the gold for us. It say, if he were to give me a palace filled with silver and gold, I could do nothing contrary to the command of the Lord, my God. How when you working for God, ain't nothing else matters. Nothing, nobody, it's when you know you on the right path and you walking according to your ordered steps, nothing, nobody can say, can change your ordered steps. Now I realize what my first mother-in-law meant when a conversation we had. However, stay here tonight so that I can find out whether the Lord will add anything to what he said before. That night, God told Balaam, you may get up and go with these men, but be sure to say only what I tell you to. So the next morning, he saddled his donkey and started off with them. But God was angry about Balaam's eager attitude. So he sent an angel to stand in the road to kill him. Now, the thing is, what I realized in between here is he got on the donkey, but he never stopped to find out what God had to say to tell them. So that's why God was, you know how sometimes people wake up and they don't say good morning? In our households, you couldn't just wake up like in the movies. Children wake up and walk through the house. That's like thinking you grown and not address everybody in the house and say, good morning, how are you? Now, my grandchildren, they say greater light. You don't just wake up and just walk around the house like you grown. So that's God. God, I really truly believe this intermission right here in between, because it's like, well, God told him to go with them in the morning. And then he said, but only say what I tell you. But then he gets mad at him the very next morning. Why? Because he got up and went straight to them donkeys. He got ready to go, and he didn't take and have a conversation with God. He didn't say his morning prayers like that song that I put out there the other day. Now I wake and see the light. Lord, you have kept me through the night. Keep me good, oh Lord. I mean, it's a lot of people know how to say prayers when they go into bed. Do they say prayers as soon as they open their eyes? A lot of people do. They say, thank you, God, for another day. Allow me to open my eyes, They say greater light, greater light. I can see. I'm still here. Take another breath. I could have been dead, sleeping in my grave. But you allowed me to open my eyes to another day, this day. Yep, this is the day. This is the day that the Lord hath made. I heard you over there. I will rejoice. I don't know if you flogging, pretending, or whatever it is you're doing, Who am I? Who am I? But I heard you. I will rejoice. See, seeing somebody don't mean nothing. A blind man can see. Can you hear it too? I will rejoice. I will rejoice and be glad in it. And be glad in it. Hey, this is the day that the Lord hath made. anyways. So that's what happened in between 20 and 21. God got mad. You ain't saying good morning to me. Some people like to say good morning. Uh, if it was me, you didn't say greater light. Uh, so the next morning, he saddled his donkey and started off with them. But God was angry about Balaam's eager attitude. So he sent an angel to stand in the road to kill him. Do you realize you need to acknowledge the source of life before you even get to stepping and getting on a donkey? Even the cows know to give praise and honor at the rising of the sun. Well, we know the sun don't rise, but at the rotation of the earth, huh? That gives the sun the illusion of rising. They know to turn and face the sun at sunrise and sunset. Even the cows know, huh? I've seen that when I was traveling. That's the one thing that I didn't know, but I got to see with my own eyes. I was like, are all the cows facing the sun? And literally, as I traveled, I saw the cows facing the sun at sunrise and sunset. So even the cows know better. And the donkey knew too, because the donkey said, oh no, I'm not. So the next morning, he saddled the donkey and started off with them. But God was angry about Balaam's eager attitude. So he sent an angel to stand in the road to kill him. As Balaam and the two servants were riding along, Balaam's donkey suddenly saw the angel of the Lord standing in the road with a drawn sword. She bolted off the road into the field, but Balaam beat her back onto the road. Now the angel of the Lord stood at the place where the road went between the two vineyard walls, and that's symbolic, uh, crushing Balaam's foot in the process. That's symbolic. So he beat her again. Then the angel of the Lord moved further down the road, symbolic, Father, and stood in a place so narrow that the donkey couldn't get by it all. So she lay down in the road. In a great fit of temper, Balaam beat her again with his staff. That's symbolic. When I looked at the sun, that's why I did that video. I said I'm going to start. I can draw like I normally do, draw what I see when I look at the sun. And at the time that I looked at the sun and had my meeting with the sun, I saw those symbols on the sun. And actually, so it was the staff. And then I didn't show the other side. There's some other things that I saw. There was a long ray of light, a thin ray of light coming, say, from behind the symbol of what looked like to be a 7 or a sickle. I just thought I'd say that. So now that I have the technology that I can actually show what it is that I see on the sun in more of an instant, it doesn't take that long for me to put those elements together to show what it is that I see when I look at the sun. And the only reason why I'm bringing that up because of the staff. So, and that black circle that was up there, all that was there. So, again, so she lay down in the road. In a great fit of temper, Balaam beat her again with his staff. Then the Lord caused the donkey to speak. What have I done to deserve you beating me these 3 times? She asked. Because you have made me look like a fool, Balaam shouted. I wish I had a sword with me, for I would kill you. Have I ever done anything like this before in my entire life? That's the question that I asked. And it was years later because I didn't think that anybody in my family would have thought any of the things that was about me. I just didn't. I didn't know. I had no idea. And I said, did I ever portray or do anything to all the children that I took care of? All the babies raising my brother and sister and all these children, all these years of my life ever? Even in school, I got my ways and my mouth and all that, but I was never violent. Just everywhere that was, and that's the question that came. Had I ever done anything in my life to warrant anybody to believe that? So, anyways, that's what the donkey said. The donkey said, all the times that you know me, have I ever done anything like this before in my entire life? The donkey asked, and he said, no. He admitted. He was like, no. Said, then the Lord opened Balaam's eyes, and he saw the angel standing in the roadway with a drawn sword, and he fell flat on the ground before him. Why did you beat your donkey those 3 times? The angel demanded. I have come to stop you because you were headed for destruction. Self-destruction, headed for self-destruction. Maybe that was a prophetic song, huh? 3 times the donkey saw me and shielded away from me. Otherwise, I would have certainly killed you by now, or spared her, and spared her. Then Balaam confessed, I have sinned. I didn't realize you were there. I will go back home if you don't want me to go on. But the angel told him, go with the men, but say only what I tell you to say. So now here is the angel coming, giving and relaying the message that God had relayed the first time. So it's the angel doing it in a visible manner. So, but the angel told him, go with the men, but say only what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with them. And that's how you confirm that spot that I said in between. Why was God so angry when he told him to go with the men? Because he didn't address him to say, okay, God, I'm getting ready to go. What is it you need me to say? You want to talk to me while they walking with me as I'm talking with them? What is it? So right here in 35, but the angel told him, go with the men, but only say what I tell you to say. So Balaam went on with them. When King Balak heard that Balaam was on the way, he left the capital. So this means, just say Balak them was in the capital of Washington, D.C. That means Balak, wherever the land was with all these Egyptians, it was the capital. He was staying at the capital. That's what the Bible say. So it says he left the capital and went out to meet him at the Arnon River, at the border of his land. Forget that. I'm going to let that go. Balaam's first blessing. Why did you delay so long? This is what Balak asked. And he said, what took you so long? He asked Balaam, didn't you believe me when I said I would give you great honors? He said, I will give you money, honors, anything you want. You shouldn't have took that long. You should have came running quick for the money. I said I would buy you. I said I would buy you. So you should come quick. Huh? When somebody offer money, a lot of people, they'd run, jump quick, quick, quick. Y'all, I said some of these creators have been missing, and I believe they've been working full time, overtime, trying to get every dime they could get from Elon Musk. When they come back, they're gonna be flaunted like they so rich. They're gonna say my book was successful the whole time. They was on them phones and going out and getting voters so they could get $100 for each voter. I ain't gonna say no names. Where these creators at? They've been working full time, overtime, in between time, in the meantime. Uh, so he said, didn't I tell you I'll give you great honors? Balaam replied, I have come, but I have no power to say anything except what God tells me to say. And that is what I will speak. Balaam accompanied the king to Kiriath Huzoth, where King Balak sacrificed oxen and sheep and gave animals to Balaam and the ambassadors for their sacrifices. The next morning, Balak took Balaam to the top of Mount Bamath Baal, from which he could see the people of Israel spread out before him. Wherever it is that Biden is going to speak next, it's going to be by some river, huh? And whatever he does, he's going to try to convince all the children of Egypt. Oh, well, that's in his prayers right now, huh? Through the streaming rivers, where he has purchased and promised to buy Americans. You proud to be an American? America the beautiful. Okay. Balaam said to the king, build 7 altars here and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for sacrifice. Balak followed his instructions, and a young bull and ram were sacrificed on each altar. And Balaam said to the king, stand here by your burnt offerings, and I will see if the Lord will meet me, and I will tell you what he says to me. So he went up to a barren height. What does it mean to be barren? Can you tell me what it means to be barren? If you are in the chat or later on and you're listening to this, what does it mean to be barren? So it's a space in the womb that can't create anything. Huh? So it's like a hollow place. Barren land. He went to barren height. It's fruitless. It's a place where man shouldn't even dwell. It was a barren height. I'm a pilgrim and a stranger traveling through barren land. I got a home. All right. So he took him to a barren height. He went up to a barren height, and God met him there. Balaam told the Lord, I have prepared 7 altars and have sacrificed a young bull and a ram on each. Then the Lord gave Balaam a message for King Balak. Now, mind you, he said this, that he did it, but remember, he didn't do it. He told the king to do it. And he said, and when I come back, I'll tell you what the Lord said. So when Balaam returned, the king was standing beside the burnt offerings with all the princes of Moab. So now all 33 of them beings that Biden went to stand with at the beginning of the year, that they little summit thing. they they all was there. And this was Balaam's message. King Balak, king of Moab, has bought me. So this is like United Nations all was standing together. Yeah, it was the United Nations meeting. And I showed y'all the symbology behind them. And I was showing you how the shadows of some of the beings didn't match up. And Biden was there in the center, front and center. So King Balak, king of Moab, has bought me from the land of Aram, from eastern mountains. Come, he told me, curse Jacob for me. Let your anger rise on Israel. But how can I curse what God has not cursed? How can I denounce a people God has not denounced? I see them from the cliff tops. I watch them from the hills. They live alone and prefer to remain distinct from every other nation. They are as numerous as dust. They are beyond numbering. If only I could die as happy as an Israelite. We see, they are not the ones who, Israelites are happy. According to Balaam, Balaam said, I wish I could die as happy as an Israelite. An Israelite ain't for to be doing all that war and killing and murdering and all that. Because they know vengeance is mine, said the Lord. God has the last say so. Oh, that my end might be like theirs. What have you done to me? Demanded King Balak. I told you to curse my enemies, and now you have blessed them. But Balaam replied, can I say anything except what Jehovah tells me to? Then Balak told him, now I'm continuing. This is where I left off. I didn't go no further. And now I'm going off where I left off. Then Balak told him, come with me to another place. So now he want to take him somewhere else. Balak left the capital. And then he went and met Balaam. And he didn't curse the people. He was there at the United Nations. And he didn't curse the people like he said he would. Like he wanted him to. Huh? That's like people at the United Nations sitting there and saying, Trump, we need you to stop talking on this Christian movement and all that. We need you to do what Greece demands and our better angels and spiritual wickedness in high places, and us from Solomon's 700 demons, 72 demons, and the demons of the 700 wives of Solomon. And we need you to stand on that. We are Gog and Gog, and we don't need you to be trying to encourage the Christians or those that believe in God. And Balak told him, said, come with me to another place. There you will see only a portion of the nation of Israel. Curse at least that many. He said, now I'm going to give you a minority report. I'm going to give you a minority report, which Biden has put out there today. I'm giving you a minority report. You can at least curse them. So King Balak took Balaam into the fields of Zophim at the top of Mount Pisgah, and built 7 altars there. And he offered up a young bull and a ram on each altar. Then Balaam said to the king, stand here by your burnt offering while I go to meet the Lord. And the Lord met Balaam and told him what to say. So he returned to where the king and the princes of Moab were standing beside their burnt offerings. So now all of the princes came from the United Nations to meet at this next place. And he said, "What has Jehovah said?" And King eagerly inquired, and he replied, "Rise up, huh? Balak in here. Listen to me, you son of Zippor. God is not a man that he should lie. He's going to keep his promise. He doesn't change his minds like humans do. You know, we humans, I have three blood types in me. And then the one that is humane, that could change like a twinkling of an eye. Huh? I'll change my mind quick. Huh? He doesn't change his mind like humans do. Has he ever promised without doing what he said? Look, I have received a command to bless them, for God has blessed them, and I cannot reverse it. He is not seen sin in Jacob. He will not trouble Israel. Jehovah, their God, is with them. He is their king. God has brought them out of Egypt. Israel has the strength of a wild ox. No curse can be placed on Jacob, and no magic shall be done against him. For now it shall be said of Israel, what wonders God has done for them. These people rise up as a lion, huh? Because they are the lions of Judah. Huh? They shall not lie down, huh? They never lie. Huh? I heard somebody say angels don't fall. Angels don't lie. They don't lie down. Until they have eaten what they've captured, and have drunk the blood of the slain. Now, they definitely, we talk about no drinking, no blood. Huh? Talking about the ancestral bloodline. Again, eating and drinking is the knowledge. Eating and drinking is the knowledge. So if they already dead, you know you're not eating no dead flesh. It's saying eating and drinking the blood of the ancestors. That's why Jesus said when he said, eat the flesh, take in the knowledge of the flesh. And because the blood is liquid, drink, take this knowledge, within you, huh? Through your saliva, let it digest in you. Let it digest about the slain, those who died for you, those who died that you could be free, those who professed and left reminders that you are a light being, huh? Those who stood up against what Balak had to say. That's what that verse means. Because if God believed in sacrificing, Balak wouldn't have to call and get a medium. God would talk directly through him as he out there slitting rams and goats and all that. So if you aren't going to curse them, at least don't bless them. Now here it is. He's like, okay, you don't have to curse them, but don't bless them. The king exclaimed to Balaam, but Balaam replied, didn't I tell you that I must say whatever Jehovah tells me to? You don't run nothing here. I done told you this time and time again. Balak dim and dim. Then the king said to Balaam, I will take you yet to another place. Now he want to take him somewhere else. On a journey, a tedious journey. Perhaps it will please God to let you curse them from there. So King Balak took Balaam to the top of Mount Peor. Again, back to the Minority Report. Peor means poor. He said, I'm going to show you those who are already depressed and down and without. It's like something that came through my ears today. And I was like, yeah, okay. That was one of those throw offs. That was one of them throw offs. You know, you have, I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone too. I'm not going to repeat that. But it was a throw off. Huh? But he said, look, let me go take you and show you where people don't have nothing. Huh? And they are those types. Just don't bless them. Let them stay in the condition that they're in. But let me read it. So King Balak took him to the top of Mount Peor, overlooking the desert. Balaam again told the king to build 7 altars and prepare 7 young bulls and 7 rams for sacrifice. And the king did as Balaam said and offered a young bull and a ram on every altar. Now, Balaam realized by now that Jehovah planned to bless Israel. So he didn't even go to meet the Lord as he had earlier. Instead, he went at once and looked outward at the camp of Israel, which stretched across the plains, divided in tribal areas. That's how I know that that information that's in the Federal Register today is directly connected to this right here that I've been reading. It's by no chance and by no coincidence. I don't go to Google where to be led to in the Bible. Huh? I don't go to Bing and Solar to Google where I need to go in the Bible. That comes naturally. Now, there's things that I might have to ask for and request information about, like what does Peor mean? What did it mean back then? So that I can distinguish. And as I look in the confirmation of these prophecies, that it is all aligning. So now he went and stretched across the plains divided by tribal areas. Then the Spirit of God came upon him and he spoke this prophecy concerning them. See, didn't I tell you? This is a prophecy. This is a prophecy. This isn't just about coming out of Egypt back then with Athamos and Akhenaten and all of them. This is prophetic to today, and it's written right there in Federal Register, and I'm going to show you. So then Balaam, the son of Beor, says, the man whose eyes are open says, I have listened to the word of God. When a man's eyes is open, it's because he listened to the word of God. I have seen what God Almighty showed me. I fell and my eyes were opened. Oh, the joys awaiting Israel. Joy in the homes of Jacob. Joy. That's what my name means. The joy of my father. Joy. You know, some mothers name their children Joy right away. But if you go into the Israel, the line of Judah, to find out what the name, where it came from and how it trickled down through history of ancient of days. Abigail, Abigail. My Spanish teacher used to say, no, your name is Abigail. Then another Spanish teacher say, no, it's Abigail. But the name means joy. And then I found out last year that even my middle name means joy. So if I said, call me Kana Fair twice, and my mother, without the knowledge of knowing, because she even said she knew what Abigail meant, but she didn't know what my middle name meant. She don't even know why she named me the middle name she named me. And my middle name means joy also. I can't make this up. And I just found that out. Huh? Joy, joy. Joy, joy, joy. Unspeakable joy. Anyways, joy in the homes of Jacob. Huh? I told y'all the story about the maiden in Zauser's temple, huh? And how the queens, they couldn't stand her and they made sure she was buried naked. They put glass over her eyes so she could continue to see, huh? Because she saw so much. I guess they wanted to prove a point. They say, yeah, you can see. You can see where we gonna bury you naked, and we gonna put glass on your eyes, and we gonna put a glass crown on your head, and bury you outside of the temple, huh? Outside of the foot. You don't get to be in here with us in the coffins with the gold and the diamonds and all, huh? She died with honor. Kind of fair and affair. Anyways, Uh, I see them spread before me as green valleys and fruitful gardens by the riverside, down by the riverside, and aloes planted by the Lord Himself. See, aloe. Where you gonna get aloe at, huh? Where you gonna get aloe at? As aloes planted by Him, by the Lord Himself, and cedar trees beside the waters. Where you gonna find cedar trees, huh? Where you gonna find cedar trees? No, y'all don't know. Y'all don't know the history of the Bahamian Islands and all along the Florida before they drenched it out and split it up. Huh? The land where the pyramids, that's why that flag has a pyramid on it. Huh? Huh? No? Okay. All right. The cedar wood in the hearts of Miami and Coconut Grove, those cedar wood houses still standing when all types of concrete houses that tumbled and fall, the ones that had the cedar wood, and the lime and coral stones, they still stand. After all the storms that then traveled over Florida, they still stand. Now, some developers that went in and went through Coconut Grove and was able to buy out by some of the people like the Simpsons and them, the Blumenthals. The Blumenthals and the Simpsons. See, I know the Grove. And so some of them houses that would have still been standing, like the one that my grandmother in the cedar wood, they shall be blessed with the abundance of water, huh? And they shall live in many places. Their king will be greater than Agag, huh? Big, greater than the Gogs and Magogs and the Gagas. Their kingdom is exalted. God has bought them from Egypt. Israel has the strength of a wild ox and shall eat up the nations that oppose him. And shall shoot them with their arrows. Huh? Uwa, uwa, shoot the arrows. All across there is symbols, even through the Tuckahoe Indians. No, they call them Indians. We know, just say lack of for better terms. The tribes. The arrowhead plants. Anybody out there know how to make some arrowhead bread? We ain't talking about Green Arrow. Green Arrow, they stole that. They said they're gonna come with their arrows. And shall shoot them with many arrows. Israel sleeps as a lion or a lioness. Israel's still sleeping. It said, who dares arouse him? Blessed is everyone who blesses you, O Israel, and curses shall fall upon everyone who curses you. This is the time, because at the beginning of this, he says, rise. And then there's a message saying that Israel is sleeping right now. But we are at that phase where every Israelite is going to wake up. You're going to wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up. Or you got to be left behind. You going to be left behind because you made the wrong choice. You still an Israelite. You just going to be left behind while they playing your behind. Huh? King Balak was livid with rage. This is just as Revelations 12. Now he livid, angry. Lock them up. Get rid of them. Kill them. Release the serious Daldic Balkan force. And it says King Balak was livid with rage by now. Striking his hands together in anger and disgust, he shouted, I called you to curse my enemies, and instead you have blessed them 3 times. 3 times? Three times. Get out of here. Go back home. I had planned to promote you to great honor, but Jehovah has kept you from it. Balaam replied, didn't I tell your messengers that even if you gave me a palace filled with silver and gold, if you gave me a palace filled with silver and gold, I could not go beyond the words of Jehovah and could not say a word of my own. I said that I would say only what Jehovah says. Yes, I shall return to my own people, but first, let me tell you what the Israelites are going to do to your people. So he spoke this prophecy to him. Balaam, the son of Peor, is the man whose eyes are open. He hears the words of God, and he has knowledge from the Most High. He sees all that Almighty God has shown him. He fell and his eyes were open. I see in the future of Israel, far down the distant trail, far down the distant trail, that there shall come a star from Jacob. The ruler of Israel shall smite the people of Moab and destroy the sons of Sheth. Israel shall possess all Edom and Seir. They shall overcome their enemies. Jacob shall arise in power and shall destroy many cities. Then Balaam looked over at the homes of the people of Amalek and prophesied. Amalek was the first of the nations, but its destiny is destruction. Then he looked over at the Kenites. Yes, you are strongly situated. Your nest is set in rocks, but the Kenites shall be destroyed. Water. And the mighty army of King Assyria shall deport you from this land. He concluded his prophecies by saying, at last, who can live when God does this? Ships shall come from the coast of Cyprus and shall oppress both Eber and Assyria. They too must be destroyed. What? Um, okay. I didn't say it. It's in a prophecy here. So Balaam and Balak returned to their homes. So Balak went back to the White House, and Balaam returned down south. Huh? Now, let me come on over to this document. Let's show you this document. I promised that I would show you this document, and then I'm going to go and let's see if I got time. Yeah, I got time. So we see here, I'm coming to the 3 presidential documents. If you want to read these 3 Federal Register documents on your own, you can. Usually, I like to go to the rules, and I like to go to significant documents before I go to anything, because the rules, when they become a final rule, that means they gave the public a chance to inspect it, to have comments, whether it took 1 year, 2 years, and then no, after everybody had something to say or didn't have anything to say, they made it a final rule. So that's why I like to go to final rules. But today I decided to click on the presidential documents. And like I said, these presidential documents is like Biden's final will and testimony to the purchasing of America and the souls of America that they are targeting to purchase. Okay. So I clicked three presidential documents. And what was in here about the three? Didn't I just read something about the tree? Did I just read something about the tree? What does it say here? Instead, you bless them three times. Three times he's putting out the curse. He's putting out a three-time curse. Or his contract, National Character Counts Week. Remember, we are into the phase where you are not going to be judged by the color of your skin, but by the content of your character. So this is the counting of your character counts week. This one right here is where it looks like he's saying goodbye to me. Then right here, this is the minority report that I mentioned as they stood on the mountain. And then he shows the minority that they want to target. He said, well, at least if we can't do that, let's at least be able to get the minority. And then here is where it was the whole tribes, the tree, the root, the National Forest Product Week. And all of this before Trump stands on Zebulon tomorrow. So let's read the National Character Count Week. A proclamation in the Oval Office. I sit surrounded by portraits of exceptional American presidents and busts of inspiring American leaders. They remind me each and every day that we are a nation of dreamers and doers, of promise and possibilities, and of ordinary Americans doing extraordinary things. Above all, we are a nation of good people who show our kindness and character through small acts every single day, through small acts. Let me show you real quick. Let's go over here to, let me read these last two sections of America the Beautiful. Oh, beautiful for heroes proved in liberating strife, who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. That sound right to y'all? Does that sound right to you? Huh? Who more than self their country loved, and mercy more than life. America, America, may God thy gold refine. I mentioned that to y'all earlier. Till all success be nobleness, and every gain divine. Remember, I told you that word divine is not sacred. And then here, oh, beautiful for the, well, there is a divine as below to the above. Okay. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream. Like I said, oh, beautiful is the word handsome. Beautiful was never a term that was for a woman. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam. Alabaster. Y'all know what an alabaster is. And it's a containment, a container, like a prison. And back to this right here, that sees, oh, patriot dream that seems beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. So it don't matter how much you cry. They don't their prayer is that the America, the thought or the dream or the idea of America and having the country look like America that they have in their mind. This is their thought. We don't undimmed by human tears. America, America, God, mend thine every flaw. Confirm thy soul in self control, thy liberty and law. To their uh, transvestite standing at the shores that they call liberty. So let me continue reading now. Our nation is strong and our future is bright. No, let me go back up here. And I'm going to try not to pause too many times, but I have a tendency of doing that. Above all, we are a nation of good people who show our kindness and character through small acts every single day. This national character counts. We are not judged by the color of our skin, but by the counting of your character week. We celebrate the core values of decency, honesty, dignity, and equality that have long defined the character of America. Is anything that's going on right now seem decent, honest, dignifying, and equal? Not at all. But this is what his basis is, that have long defined the character. This is the character of America. What we see today, that's what he's saying. What we see is what you're getting. Our nation is strong and our future is bright, in a large part because of the upstanding character that resides with all Americans. They're putting you into their alabaster box. I have witnessed it up close in educators like the First Lady, who inspire our nation's youth to reach for every possibility. Mother, fathers, and parental figures who raise their children with care, courage, and grit. First responders who run toward danger to protect others. Union workers who are building America. Brave service members who stand at the front lines of freedom to defend our democracy. Across the country, American workers are writing the greatest comeback story we have ever known, restoring pride in our hometowns, pride in America, and pride in knowing we can get big things done when we work together. Since I came into office, my administration has taken large strides toward building an America that lives up to these values. The America Rescue Plan helped keep children care programs open, families in their homes, and small businesses on their feet. We set a record of federal contract spending on small businesses. Our historic investment across the clean energy economy are helping to combat climate change and create good paying jobs. Do you see climate change being combated? Their investment in small businesses to help families get on their feet. Those people are struggling now to pay those loans back because all it was a loan. Families in homes, as they do their infrastructure plan and demolish communities, they increase the rate of the loans that they're going to be supposedly giving out to those who need to restart and start their lives. And the rate is almost at over 33%. That don't sound like the plan that supposedly laid out, that what's her name lying and saying that's not honest. They're not being honest when everything that they're saying is right here in the Federal Register and says something different. All of the storms and stuff that are created, they are created through research and development, and they've been telling us that for years through CHIPS Act research and development. So they're not here at all, and nowhere in this is truth or honesty. Clean energy economy and help combat climate change and create good paying jobs. Do you think all them people that got flooded out in Asheville, they feel like the climate change was combated? All the people in Florida that lost their homes, do you they feel like the climate change is combated? We'll see how combated the climate change is for those who will be left behind. Hopefully, and no one will be left behind that would accept the love and light that is within your DNA code that they want to dim. But the winter that I saw last year, and all the things that I saw last year, is that it was written in the Federal Register, is to happen this year. All the things that is written in Revelation about the winter that is supposed to happen, as all these things are taking place, if that is supposed to happen this year. That don't seem, the South Pole is melting, causing extra flooding. The North Pole is melted, causing extra flooding. Through the American Rescue Plan and Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, we made some significant investments in reducing crime. Really? Preventing gun violence. Whoa. And saving lives. And last year, we saw one of the lowest rates of violent crime in more than 50 years. Where? Really? Okay. Y'all know this is. Let me continue. We are also ensuring that America is a nation where everyone is respected. Really? And where we give hate no safe harbor. For real? Ain't nobody hating more than the Democrats. I'm telling you through experience on a day-to-day basis. If somebody's speaking out from the Bible and the word of God and Christ, you can hear the demons raise out of the democracy ready to attack. And the hatred and the tone, and that word F is like their favorite word. I can't make this up. This is just on my day-to-day experience listening to tones over the phone. And how do I know when it's different? I won't say right now. I may use it as a testimony in a couple of weeks. We are also ensuring that America is a nation where everyone is respected and where we give hate no safe harbor. That is why I signed the COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act, making it easier to report hate crimes. What COVID-19 got to do with a hate crime? You see how they threw that in there? The same way that same being that they just released and authorized to have some type of play that he been having, the Dodlik, head of Greece, the president of Greece. He took the Sputnik COVID and have that in their systems. He said he signed a COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act. What is that? I see what I'm saying? Y'all need to go and read what this man writing, and what's coming down and trickling down from their spiritual wickedness in high places, making it easier to report hate crimes, and hosted the United We Stand Summit to counter the corrosive effect of hated fuel violence. My administration continues to work with counter anti-Semitism, Islamophobia, and hate of all its forms and ensure that everyone is treated with dignity and respect. And that's a lie, because the information that I showed y'all yesterday, where they lifted the ban for the being, where they get a lot of their money and funding from, out of Greek, out of Athens, out of Greece. He don't like anybody who loves God or Jesus. So why did y'all just yesterday release and gave him power and authority to be connected and allied with you in even the smallest manner? See, that's a lie. He say ethnic cleansing is the only way, and they saying that whatever it is he feel in hatred and all, we don't mind if you send your bottled waters over. Back to it. Under my unity agenda, we are tackling the opiate epidemic. Really? Fentanyl and the opiate epidemic is at an all-time high. And mental health crisis is so bad they had to open up a new phone line. And half of these agendas, he was the author of these agendas over 30 years ago, including the one against women, of the Violence Against Women Act. And the violence against women has gotten worse than it has ever been. And he was the author of some of these acts and pacts. Under my unity agenda, we are tackling the opiate epidemic and mental health crisis, holding big tech accountable, supporting our veterans and their families, and ending cancer as we know it. How? When they had the cure, they killed off people who came up with cures. Made it hush hush. And create new strands that could be put in bread and yeast. Him and his wife, their major fund, and DeSantis and his wife, their major fund comes through funding of experimenting through cancer. They are set billionaires for their cancer moonshot, and moonshot has two um levels. Moonshot on the sacrificial part, where the military do their moonshot research and development, and it just shows, well, how many people will be destroyed in this storm if we do this to the water, if we dig a ditch here, if the waters flood here. The Navy, the military, civil engineer, um, infrastructure researchers call that a moonshot. And then Biden, based on him and his wife's moonshot research funding that they have. And every time he calls out moonshot, it says the word moonshot. Believe me, something is about to go down. So back to it. Supporting our veterans and their families and ending cancer as we know it. We are investing more than $1 billion to help schools across the country train and hire new mental health counselors through the Bipartisan Safe Communities Act. But they can't take those $1 billion, that all this money, billions and billions and billions, and invest it into making the level play, like places like Georgia, where the minimum wage is still $7.25 an hour. As Georgia sits on the one of the wealthiest minds on the face of this planet. We are investing more than 1 billion to help schools across the country train and hire new mental health counselors through bipartisan Safe Communities Act. We have granted new disability benefits to over 1 million veterans and their families. But if the world was at peace and peacefully mild, then there was no war. You wouldn't have to worry about veterans and their families under the PACT Act. We launched an advanced research project agency for the health to fast track progress on how we prevent, detect, and treat cancer and other diseases. And there was a information that in order for veterans to continue to receive their benefits, they had to sign on to. That's why this right here is up here, the COVID Hate Crimes Act. That Hate Crimes Act is to protect those who were mandated at one point through the summit in order to continue getting benefits for under the Disability PACT Act. And we've launched advanced research projects and agencies for health to fast track progress on how we prevent, detect, and treat cancer and other diseases. My father taught me that our character is not measured by how many times or how hard we get knocked down, but how quickly we get back up. We fall down, but we get up. That ain't that doesn't measure your character. That measures your flesh. That's like telling somebody, look, I can keep punching you, and if I keep punching you, you better keep getting back up. And that person is in pain and agony and don't want to get punched no more. And then what he trying to say is your character is measured by how many times you get back up. Nah, sometimes you need to stay down or wake up. The things that they teach in a halfway type of way. And then they got printed page on here to that part. Even in the face of challenges ahead and obstacles in our way, Americans always get back up. He talking about Americans, but they don't consider themselves American. It was what drives our great country forward and what makes our nation strong. This week and every week, let us recommit to upholding our most essential values and remember that the sacred task, see, you always find a way to throw in the word sacred, soul, covenant, and all that in there. The sacred task of perfecting our union is not just about any one of us, but about we the people. When we are now no longer we the people, you are a patient of the United States of America through the CHIPS Act law. So now, until the 26th, whatever happens in between the 20th and the 26th, this was his sacrificial prayer. So he took Balaam up on the mountain and showed him the characteristics of the beings. Huh? Now let's go back, and he want to show the root and the history of the beings. Let's go to the National Forest Products Week. A proclamation: our forests are are central to our country's heritage, history, and economy. Forests support livelihoods across tribal nations, rural towns, and big cities, from forests and loggers to mill workers and carpenters, also sustaining the health of our environment. He going to the root, huh? The tree. During the National Forest Products Week, we recognize that conserving our bountiful forests is critical to sustaining our economy, ensuring that Americans can enjoy the wonder of our forest for generations to come. As a nation, we rely on our forests for so much, from cleaning the air we breathe and the water we drink to providing lumber, paper we use every day. But the existential existential threat of climate change endangers our forests, putting these jobs or those jobs, livelihood, and critical products at risk. After decades of fire suppression and ignoring climate change, wildfire season have become wildfire years, burning down communities, destroying forests, ecosystems, and unpending people's lives. So now he's calling in for, hopefully, for the new year to burn down more forests, more forest fires coming with the cold weathers, right? My first year in office, I launched America the Beautiful initiative to conserve at least 30% of all our nation's land and water by 2030 through local voluntary efforts across the country, empowering foresters and farmers to advance sustainable practices to keep worklands productive. I showed you where they put in the requests from Amistad to the basin of Amistad to areas to the point of that measurement in Revelations, where the Chassawa people requested sanctuary for so many thousands of miles. And if you was to do the extension on the mileage and look at the area from where they say, but anyways, besides that, that's where they invested most of this in. Empowering foresters and farmers to advance sustainable practices to keep working lands productive. These efforts will help strengthen our economy and pass on healthier planet to our children and grandchildren. When I came into office, I was determined to conserve our forests while protecting the people who rely on them for jobs. My bipartisan infrastructure law is creating jobs, managing our forests, restoring ecosystems, and preventing catastrophic fires. It is investing in the removal of overgrown vegetation near homes and power lines, preparing evacuation routes in areas at risk of wildfires, removing invasive plant species from forests that can cause fires to spread, planting native tree species that are more resilient to changing climate, and that my Inflation Reduction Act made the largest climate investment ever, putting people to work planting trees, sustainably managing our forests, and working on fire prevention. Together, these actions are producing new jobs and help us care for our forests and keep all of us safe from wildfires. At the same time, my administration is working to support American workers in rural communities producing our forest products, everything targeted towards the rural communities. I showed you that in the USDA clause, the USDA clause. But then in the USDA clause, it shows infrastructure destruction along with this. So we are awarding millions of dollars in grants to American businesses that support forest conservation, expand the sustainable use of American wood products, and find innovative ways to use our wood waste materials, included to build strong and sustainable buildings. I also take pride in having raised federal firefighter minimum wage to $15 an hour, an important first step to ensuring people who run into flames to keep all of us safe are paid what they deserve. So see, so you mean to tell me McDonald's, they can get a $20 an hour, but a firefighter in the rural area, because again, this is targeted to rural areas. See, a lot of people think when they think rural areas that there's a certain type, and a lot of the natives, a lot of, if you look at the amount of brown people that live in rural areas, and it's been like that years. Like when my second husband, when he told me he grew up in a rural area, and that he didn't know what a toilet was, and he younger than me now. He didn't know what a toilet was until he moved to the town that we met in. I said, really? I said, I thought that was stuff like my mama them days. He said, no, we had to use an outhouse. He grew up in a rural area. And I said, a lot of people grew up in a rural area around. Yeah. And when I went to that rural area and saw it, I was like, wow, that's cool. I mean, I just didn't know. You know, you grow up in a city, you don't think somebody younger than you didn't know what a toilet was until they was a teenager, like a real flushable toilet in their home. You know what I mean? Not saying he didn't know what a flushable toilet was, but they didn't have one in their home. They had to use the outhouse. I'm like, wow, you know? Anyways, so just to distinguish, when you hear rural area, conserving our forests is good for our economy, the planet, and the soul of our nation. There he is, throwing in the soul. This week, may we recommit to the responsibility of stewarding our forests. They want to be stewards of the trees. Okay? So now this is the root of the people. This is the root of the people. Now let's go to the Minority Report. So here in the Minority Report, I really don't want to read no more of this. So this is where BALAK goes and says, okay, well, now I'm going to take you to the minority, just a small portion of the Israelite, and show you. You don't have to bless them or curse them, but don't bless them. And this is what it says here: Minority Enterprise Development Week. Our nation's minority-owned businesses are the glue of our communities and the engines of our economies. Investing in them is a key to growing our economy from the middle out, and they always show an image through words of the swastika, middle out and bottom up, not the top down. When the minority-owned businesses do well, everyone does well. More people get jobs. First-time business owners build generational wealth. Our economy grows, and more Americans feel a sense of pride and hope in all that is possible in our nation. This Minority Enterprise Development Week, may we celebrate the talent and ingenuity of the innovators and entrepreneurs who run our nation's minority-owned businesses, and we may recommit to ensuring the minority-owned businesses have access to the resources they need to thrive. And if you go and read the SBA and Small Business Administration transition with the CHIPS Act, and the last and final of the CHIPS Act going into full effect, and the inflation on the loans and paybacks for small businesses, and first-time business owners, it'd be best to go and read versus just listening to what he gonna get up there and stand and say this stuff whenever they do, him and her, or he and them. And may we recommit to ensuring the minority owned businesses have access to the resources they need to thrive. Minority owned businesses add incredible value to our economy, generating nearly 2 trillion in revenue each year. But half of those out of those 2 trillion are struggling because of inflation, and the inflation that has happened in the past 3.5 years. These businesses not only provide the goods and services we need, but are also the sources of hope, helping people realize their American dream, building generational wealth, and uplifting their families and communities. That is why my administration is ensuring the minority owned businesses have access to capital and can grow. The Small Business Administration is lending after they buy you and purchasing Americans. They say they are lending. Continue reading. That is why my administration is ensuring minority owned business has access to capital and can grow. The Small Business Administration is lending tens of billions of dollars to small businesses that would otherwise struggle to access capital. For example, since 2020, the rate of SBA backed loans increased by 40%. That's not true for Asian American owned businesses, tripled for Black owned businesses, and more than doubled for Latino owned businesses. Further, my American Rescue Plan helped minority owned businesses keep their doors open during COVID-19 pandemic and represents the largest ever dedicated federal investment to connect minority owned small businesses to support. The law invested 10 billion to launch and expand programs provided by critical access to capital for small businesses. And y'all, if y'all don't remember, it was Trump that did that. But they got him out of office and then took over that and re-signed it. But it's like people's memories got wiped away when they start getting COVID um, venom. The law invested 10 billion to launch and expand programs, provide critical access to capital for small businesses. The American Rescue Plan also invested 500 million to fund over 100 awards for organizations working to connect entrepreneurs who to resources to help their small businesses recover and thrive through initiatives like the SBA Community Navigators Program, the Department of Treasury Small Business Opportunity Program, and Minority Business Development Agency's Capital Readiness Program. My administration has also been working to ensure minority owned businesses get a fair shot at success. That is why I signed the executive order that it would increase the share of total federal contracts going to disadvantaged businesses from 10%, 15% by 2025. See, they always push the years out. Why not now? Why not right now? Because if you look in the laws, what they have for 2025 is when it will go out and they would have to rewrite a new one. And in the last 3 years, we spent over 208 billion on small advantaged businesses. You didn't spend nothing because it was all a loan. My bipartisan infrastructure law expanded, and it was a loan through imaginary money. You don't even know what the money looked like going through the system. My bipartisan infrastructure, I guarantee you that the light of what money is that goes through the system looks more grotesque than probably anything that we've ever seen on this physical realm. That light code of the money that transitions through the system and goes from one card to the next, and from my phone to your phone to hit the ding, or make a ding when your bank account gets something in there, or when you put that card in the ATM, or the people send money, all wire it to their families in other islands and across the country and across the world. I guarantee you it has an image, it has a face, because just like these bills that they have, that they put money on, they put a face on the coins, they put a face on the bills. So that, what is the image of the light being that travels on and rides on when you stick your card in the ATM and you get happy because all this money hits your account and you need this and you need that, or you just supposedly, what does the money look like? Has anyone ever thought, because all the years that we known about money and coin and bills, that when they start putting faces on the coins and money on the coins, we know that Bitcoin is the symbol is not a B going through the system. There's a face on it. There's a face on the 208 billion that he's talking about right there. There's a face on where he says they're going to purchase. It ain't Harriet Tubman. It ain't Julius Caesar. It ain't Pocahontas or it's none of them. It's not Washington. It's not Benjamin. Huh? What is the face that travels through the system, that when he says that they're going to purchase you, what does that image look like? I wonder, has anybody ever did a build on that? What face is on the light code that is called money, that he says they're going to purchase Americans with? My bipartisan infrastructure law, his bipartisan infrastructure is a law. It's not an act. It's not a science. It's not a research. It's a law. Expanded and made permanent and minority business development agencies, ensuring the minority owned businesses have access to the resources and support they need to thrive. And with my Inflation Reduction Act and CHIPS Act and Science Act, there's the CHIPS Act law and Science Act, we are working to make sure minority owned businesses are benefiting from the billions of dollars we are investing in American infrastructure, manufacturing, and clean energy industries here at home. In addition, Vice President Harris launched the Economic Opportunity Coalition in 2022, provide tens of billions of dollars in investments to underserved communities. It says to provide. It didn't say that they provided it. Since Vice President Harris and I entered office, our administration has created 16 million jobs, and American entrepreneurs have filled nearly 20 million new business applications. They filled the applications. But if they read the small print, maybe half of that didn't sign on. Wages are growing faster than prices. Unemployment remains low. Black and Latino owned businesses are being created faster today than they have been in years. And federal contracts with Native American owned companies increased by over 8 billion from 2020 to 2023. I also take pride in my administration's investment in the historically Black colleges and universities, Hispanic serving institutions, tribal colleges, universities, and Asian American and Native American Pacific Islander serving institutions, all of which are helping launch the next generation of innovators, entrepreneurs, and business owners. The investments will ensure that their graduates will have every opportunity to lead industries of future and build generational wealth. Across America, from small town to big cities, we are seeing thousands of stories of revival, the big revival, huh? Renewal, hmm optimism, the optics, and pride. And each new business that is created is an act of hope, not just for the business owner, but for the entire community. During the Minority Enterprise Development Week, we celebrate all of the minority owned businesses, making our economy stronger, our nation more competitive, and communities more hopeful. And we may we recommit to supporting the success and longevity. Now, again, like I said, this is directly connected to um, Numbers 22 and 23. And this these documents target the root of the tribes of Israel, the tree where all of the tribe of Israel, I'm sorry, right here, the national character counts. That's the soul. The minority report is when Balak took Balaam to the mountain just to show him a small percentage of the Israelites. So this right here, National Forest Products Week, the tree, the root, is when Balak took and he saw all of the Israelites all over the land. And then remember, he left the capital and came and he said, well, okay, well, we done did everything we can. We can't chop the tree from the root. So then he asked them again, he said, well, if we can't get them, I need you to curse them. And if it's mentally or whatever. So there we get going to the soul. And at the end, he said, okay, well, you can't do that. Come right here. At least let me show you the minorities. If we got to block that some type of way. Because based on our America the Beautiful, that didn't include them. Let's go to America the Beautiful and read this one more time. Now you know the rest of the song. Oh, beautiful for patriot dream that sees beyond the years. Thine alabaster cities gleam, undimmed by human tears. They don't care how much you cry, how much you whine. I'm not showing it. America, America, God mend thine every flaw. Wherever they go wrong, whatever it is that they do wrong, whatever sin that they commit, they asking their God. Because Biden did stand up on Ebenezer Rock and he has said several times, like we serve different gods, and he listened to the betterment of his angels. Confirm thy soul in self-control, thy liberty in law. Greater light. I'm gonna get on up out of here, and I'm like I said, I may come back later. Nope, I got to come back later. I got to come back later. If I don't, I may record myself reading. I don't know. I don't know if I have to be live when I do it. I know I got to be on reading, and the tablets is in my on my computer. So greater light. Study to show thyself approved, and don't sway, Trump. Don't sway for the things that or the message that God has given you. Don't get distracted and change it up. Hmm? Even though, just don't change it up. No, change it up. Let's see. What are we gonna close out with? Yep. The only one that I've been playing lately. Here we go.
Let's go. Sure. Yeah. Sound. It's written. Sound. Spell. Sure. Yeah. Sound. Armor ready. Yeah. Sound. It's written. Sound. Spell. Sure. Yeah. Sound. Armor ready. After the dragon attempt to flood out and drown this woman clothed in her son, wearing her 12 crowns, he became furious. The scripts say he became wroth. Let us say Rothschilds woven from the knowledge of the cloth. So mad, he is preparing a war by the shores against all of God's promised, against the bloodline, the chosen. 44,000 and more. No more rumors beyond rumors and rumors of war. No more rumors of war as he comes from the sea to initiate Elizabeth soldiers. Oh, mercy me. No more rumors of war. Pandora's box past historical horrors. Oh, mercy me. Historical, more victorial, more doctorial, more pictorial, more oratorical, more battlefield of the imaginary pans doors. Her flow, her secret, her box, her floors. My roar, no more rumors beyond rumors or rumors of rumors of rumors of war. Let's go. Yeah. Sound. It's written. Sound. Spell. Drop. Yeah. Sounds. Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, your feet shine 6 right. Code the way, truth and light. Let's go. Yeah. Sound. It's written. Sound. Spell. Drop. Yeah. Sounds. Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, feet shines 6 right. Code the way, truth and the light. Let's go. Yeah. It is written. Sound. Spell. Drop. Yeah. Sounds. Armor ready. Dragon attempt to flood out and drown this woman clothed in the sun, wearing her 12 crowns. He became furious. The scripts say he became wroth. Let us say Rothschilds woven from the knowledge of the cloth. So now he is preparing a war by the shores against all of God's promise, against the bloodline, the chosen. For his 40,000 and more. No more rumors beyond rumors and rumors of war. No more rumors of war as he comes from the sea to initiate Elizabeth soldiers. Oh, mercy me. No more rumors of war. Pandora's box past historical horrors. Oh, mercy me. Historical, more victorial, more doctorial, more pictorial, more oratorical, more battlefield of the imaginary pans doors. Her flow, her secret, her box, her floors. My roar, no more rumors beyond rumors or rumors of rumors of rumors of war. Let's go. Yeah. Sound. It's written. Sound. Spell. Drop. Yeah. Sounds. Armor ready. Each day you keep the commandment of truth. Armor up, you say you belong with Christ too. Armor up, your race shows you are born again. Armor up, your feet shine 6 right. Code the way, truth and light. Let's